Well, hello and welcome to Utopian Global. This is Bill Rao, the founder and CEO, and we're in for a special event this evening. We have Pastor Blue with us this evening, joining us to teach us BetterLifeOlogy. Now, whoever you are, wherever you are, and regardless of your financial situation or the status that you're currently finding yourself in, there's always a way to get ahead. And Dr. Blue is a master of these principles. He teaches the laws. And I've known Dr. Blue now and his wife and family, Pastor Michelle Blue, for probably 10 years. I've had the pleasure of speaking at one of the great churches in New York with his grandfather, Bishop Perry, charismatic. As Bishop Perry is, I can assure you Dr. Blue is exactly the same, and you're about to find out. So let me just say a few words about Dr. Blue before we get into the call, because for many people, it's the first time that you've actually seen him or may have heard of him. But Dr. Blue is a charismatic leader, and you'll make that judgment yourself. He's certainly a visionary and prolific Bible teacher, as well as media personality. Dr. Blue is a behavioral change specialist. Now, if you want to get better results, we have to change our behavior. And this is what he's going to be focusing on over the many months ahead to help us take us from where we are to where we want to go. So he's a behavioral change specialist who flows with a prophetic voice that is anchored in deep biblical truths, easily understood by the youngest as well as the most mature believers. His ministry has been marked by strong deliverances, financial breakthroughs, and personal life changes. As a behavioral change specialist and better life teacher, Dr. Blue's teachings and messages focuses on increase in the areas of finances, wealth building, and also through a course he really loved. He grasped the concept of wealth preservation and wealth empowerment through gold and silver. Personal empowerment, relationships, emotional balance. His ministry and program specializes in reaching the least, lost, and left behind through powerful personal growth teachings in the areas of better life development, prayer, fasting, manifestation, and spiritual empowerment, enhancing every person to live the better life. And regardless of where you are right now, we all want to have a better life. So with that, Dr. Adrian Blue, we are blessed to have you tonight. It's over to you.
Thank you, Bill. I certainly appreciate the wonderful introduction. To all of you who are tuning in, we're excited about tonight. We're excited about no matter where you are around the world, whether it's nighttime or daytime, we welcome you. This is going to be an exciting journey, I assure you, because we're only as good as our information. And I learned that from one of the great Bishop Milton Perry, who always taught me to stay a student. I'm grateful that we have individuals like Mr. Bill Rao, the illustrious, wonderful president of UtopianGlobal, who is a visionary of himself, and he's able to come up with a vision to make building and creating wealth available for the average person. And I'm telling you, when I begin to become aware of these principles and these concepts, it not only changed my life, but it caused me to understand that anybody can achieve the same results that the very financial elite achieves, that the very successful achieves, that anybody in any capacity achieves if you're willing to follow the system. So we give it up for Mr. Bill Rao and his vision with UtopianGlobal to allow us to be able to build and create wealth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a journey to show you how to create your experience. That's right, how you are the creator of your own experience. Now, whether you're successful or whether you literally embrace being a failure, you created it. It's the way we've been made by God. And I'm going to show you some principles. So if you have your pens and papers, please, ma'am, please, sir, no matter where you are, take some notes. You really want to do that today because we're going to help you with it. So with that said, we're getting ready to get started here. Let me see if I can get my screen to showing here. Okay. Yes, I think I have it here. All right, here we are. All right, as we get started at this particular time, let's open up with giving you a little bit about who I am. And I know Mr. Bill Rao have shared a little bit about who I am, but just want to share some key components. All right, I'm a behavior change specialist. I'm an international speaker as well as a business owner, and I'm really excited about being a business owner. And again, you heard that I flow with a prophetic voice anchored in deep biblical truths. I believe within the scriptures are contained principles to live by. And that's what changed my life. That's what I know would also change your life with a lot of the principles. All right. On top of that, I have the privilege of being one of the 2017 recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Award by President Barack Obama in America for a lot of the commitment that I and my team have done to better the communities of America nationwide. In addition to that, why should you listen to what I have to say? I'm also trained in what is called neuro-linguistic programming. This is nothing more than a behavior change science that assists people in reframing their behavior patterns for real life results. Real life results. And I believe that when you know better, you can do better. Real life results that produce a real life success. And that's what we're going to deal with today. Okay, so if you want, you can take a screenshot of the screen in front of you, just a little insight as we go throughout this better life journey. And we're grateful of the wonderful privilege that we have to be able to share this on the Utopian Global platform. All right. With that said, let's go. Today, I want to talk today about what is known as the powerful you. Who is the powerful you? Now, you're a part of a company that is amazing in the sense that it put the tools back in your hand. The tools back in your hand. But like anyone and anything, when it comes time to build a house, okay, the tools are very important, but so is the mindset of the person using them. Wouldn't you agree? The tools are very important. If you're going to build a house, you got to have certain tools, whether it's the hammer, whether it's the ladder, whether it's, the nails or the screws or, the lumber that you use and all those other things. The tools are one thing, but the mindset of the person who's building the house is something totally different. And you can have the great tools and the bad mindset, or you can have the right mindset with the right tools that Utopian Global gives us, and you can change your life. Because I'm of the firm persuasion, what life was meant to be good, and you were meant to be better. Now, ain't that amazing? Life was meant to be good, and you were meant to be better, you and I. And in order for us to do that, we got to be engaged. So we got to know a little something about who the powerful you is. And that's what we're going to look at tonight. Who is the powerful you? How did God make you? How did he create you? He created you to literally succeed, not to be stuck or stagnant. Anytime we're stuck, anytime we're stagnant, it's only because there's certain things we don't understand about the next level. Can I help you here with BetterLifeOlogy? Every next level of your life will require a better version of you. That's right. If you are follow me now, if you are a hundredaire and you want to be a thousandaire, you got to be better in managing your money. A thousandaire to a 100,000aire, better at managing your money. 100,000aire to millionaire, 100 millionaire, billionaire, and the list goes on. If you want to go to that next level, you have to become a better version of you. And to be better is to understand who is the powerful you. And we're going to look at that because for centuries, there has been a select group of people. Now, not select because they've been wonderful or because they're favor on them. Select because they understood things that the masses have yet to understand. This group of people have been known as the real thinkers. These individuals have always known that there is a power which permeates and fills the inner spaces of the cosmos, that everything you see around you is an expression of that power. And so is everything that you feel. It's all an expression of that power. Now watch this, because as we go forward, I want you to realize what this power is. Now, I'm going to teach you some concepts that may be new to some of you. Maybe it's something that you have always known, and maybe this may be a refresher course. Either way, please hear me, every one of you, that we have to get a foundational understanding of not only who we are, but what we possess. Now, there's two schools of thought when we talk about power. We all can agree that power is energy. Make no mistake about it. Power is energy. Energy is power. Everything that you are going to change your life with all result back to energy. Now, there's two schools of thought who both agree, watch this here, even though they don't always see eye to eye, and that's science and that's spirituality. But let's look at what science says. Science, this school of thought, when it comes to power being energy and spirituality, but science says energy is, watch this, not created nor destroyed. Science says energy is the cause and the effect of itself. Science says energy is 100% evenly present. All right. Now, spirituality, which I know a lot about that, being a pastor and spiritual teacher, God is energy. Make no mistake about it. God, the universal spirit, he is energy. Now, watch this. Just like science, God is not created nor destroyed. Okay. He is the cause and effect of himself, and he's evenly present 100%. The theological term here is omnipresent. Omni meaning all direction, present meaning not only is he above you, but he's also within you. Isn't that amazing that the creator of the universe put his DNA in us? And by the time we're finished with the teaching today, you're going to see how powerful you are. Now, this stuff has changed my life. There's nothing that I can subscribe to do that I will not be able to do unless I choose that I cannot. But if I choose I can, I will be able to do. And that's succeeding in business. That's literally, and I say this, and I want you to hear me. Maybe you're one of those ones who did not come from a wealthy family. Well, if you don't come from a wealthy family should come from you. Why? Because you're starting to learn and understand things about yourself that's going to show you how to change your experience entirely. Now, many times it won't happen overnight. It is a journey, but it's a journey that if you commit yourself to, you'll see the success in. Now, on the screen, which is phenomenal, we see what is called here. This is an image of, let's call this the human body. All right, you see the mind, which is two parts to the mind. You got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Let's agree on that, all right? And then down here, you see the body. Okay, this is the body. There's the funny little arms and legs, but here's the body, but here's the mind. Now, everything we experience in life, we experience through 5 senses, all right? Many of you may remember that from biology. You're seeing, you're hearing, you're smelling, you're touching, you're tasting. Those 5 senses, and you see that here. See, hear, smell, touch, taste, and touch. Everything you experience impact those senses, and then watch this here, we're able to experience it in our mind, and when we embrace it on a deeper level, it impacts our subconscious mind. Now, I recommend for many of you the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Joseph Murphy, powerful book where he teaches the power and authority we have that's God-given within our subconscious mind. And you ready for it? This freed me up. It changed my life, and it changes lives because I teach it around the world. Right before I'm with you on tonight, this past weekend, I was in West Palm Beach, Florida, doing a teaching, and a church asked me to come in on a Friday to Sunday morning, teaching on these very things that I'm teaching you now. Now, watch this here. You don't have to fly to West Palm Beach, Florida, USA, to come tune in. All you have to do is be a part of the Utopian global system, and you get that benefit. Ain't that amazing? Come on, let's give it up again for our wonderful president, Mr. Bill Rao. And we're excited about it. So let's look and see here. No matter what you experience in life, information will come in, watch this, wrong or right. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. It comes in through our senses, and it impacts our conscious mind. Okay, we consciously experience different things in life. Now, as we move along, I want you to understand the reason why I said right and wrong is because there's no such thing as a good situation or a bad one. It is only the meaning you give it. Just recently, I was a victim of a crime. I had someone, well, I didn't have them, but they smashed and grabbed. They broke into my truck. I have a Escalade truck, and broke into my truck. I had tinted windows on it, of course, so no one can really see inside unless you was really, with a light trying to really pay attention. But they broke into my truck, and they grabbed my bag that I just so happened to leave on the seat because I knew I'm going to run into the store for 3 minutes. And that's it. I just had to go pick up something. Wasn't long inside of the store, but they, in 30 seconds, when I saw the surveillance camera with the officer, 30 seconds, they ran in, busted out my window, grabbed my bag. It had my computer inside of there. It had, my treasure inside of there. It had all kinds of stuff inside of there, some gold, some silver, because I was, getting ready to do a presentation at a time, so I'm getting things ready, all inside of my bag, and it was stolen. Okay, it was stolen. Here's my point. Was that a good situation or a bad one? Well, it's the meaning I give it. See, life, every experience has a frame. Now, that frame, you can give it as a good frame or as a bad frame. But whatever you choose for that event to be, that's going to be how you respond to it or how you react to it. So what I simply did when it was taken, yes, was I upset? Of course. I mean, I had my computer with years of work. I'm writing on a book right now. I'm probably a month away from completing, and that was on that computer. And I had my jump drives, and there was information, and all that was taken. And again, I could have pulled out my hair. I could have went and grabbed the first person I seen and shook them or hit them or cursed them out or did all kinds of stuff that you may want to feel like doing. But here's the thing. I understood I'm not going to give this a bad situation. It's a good one. Why? Because now I'm able to be more aware of not only my surroundings, but what I'm doing. I won't leave my new bag on just in the car by itself. My computer, I make sure I'm going to check and double check everything. So if something happened, I have a contingency plan. See, that event, if it had not happened, I would not have been as astute as I am now when it comes to that same circumstance if I had not went through it. So sometimes in life, the situation we go through is good, and I mean this. See, some of you right there who are listening to me right now, maybe you lost your job. Maybe you got laid off. Maybe things aren't moving the way they need to move. Well, guess what? You can call that bad, but I call it good because you can lose your job and find your Utopian global business. Did you hear me? You can lose your job. Maybe whatever happened there is no longer there, but now you're in a great position for God to give you an opportunity called Utopian Global, where now you can not only develop a business, help other people, but create wealth all in the same process. It's amazing how that goes. So whether it's negative or positive, okay, you define the situation. So let's look at this here because I want you to understand this. Here's how you've been created. Here's how God made you. And again, when I learned this, it changed my life. When I learned this, it caused me to really understand that I'm more of a victor instead of a victim. And I'm going to help you. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the powerful you. I want to uncover and discover within you that you have authority, you have the ability to create the life of your dreams by understanding what I'm teaching now. Okay? All right, so let's look at the imagined idea. What's an imagined idea? Any idea that comes to your mind. Would you want to be wealthy? Would you want to be healthy? Would you want to succeed? Would you want to be in a no-need state where you're at a place where all your needs are met? Come on, that's a place that you can be that way. I believe it's God's will for you to be that way. It's never God's will for us to struggle. What father would want his children struggling? Nobody, right? So God, our creator, doesn't want us to struggle. He's given us everything we need to succeed. But this is how it all works. This is how we've been created. That imagined idea impacts our conscious mind. Maybe you specifically imagine something. Once it's embraced on a deeper level, I mean, you're constantly thinking about it. That's why you got to be careful when it's of the negative connotation, because whatever you focus on the most will expand. Write that down. That's a spiritual law. Whatever you focus on the most will expand. You want to see success in your business? Focus on that. Focus more on that than you do on the excuses or everything else that you're saying. Well, I don't know about this and I don't know about. No, focus on that. Okay. Whatever you focus on the most will expand. All right. Once that idea then is embraced unto the powerful you, which is the subconscious, the more powerful you, and now you get emotionally involved. That means you are passionate about this. Either you're passionate about succeeding or you're passionate about failing. Now, you might say, Dr. Blue, come on. How can a person be passionate about failing? You're passionate about failing in life when every time you turn around, you got an excuse on why it won't work. You know, you enter into the business. Our business operate by the model that you show and tell. You show and tell. You share it with others. Well, if your mindset is, I don't like to tell people because if I tell them, then they're going to say this, that, and the other, and they're not going to listen, or they're not going to believe me, or they're not going to know if they can. If that's what you're focused on, and you're emotionally involved in that, guess what happens here? It then plays out through your body. And through your body, here's your actions. Your body moves into vibrations according to that emotion. Now that's on the negative. Now, what happens if it's on the positive? So we see the negative, right? What happens if it's on the positive? Same thing. That if I'm positively thinking that 2019 is my year, that not only do I have another year, but I have a vehicle called UtopianGlobal in which everything I want to realize, from wealth creation to legacy wealth to gold, silver, oil, all type of opportunities, all that is, watch this, inclusive of what I'm able to produce. So now when I go talking to somebody, I'm giving off a positive vibration, because I've embraced this in my subconscious mind, and that positive vibration is what would allow somebody to come hear about me. Listen to me. I remember I was in a Starbucks. This had to be, some time ago, but I was in a Starbucks and I was doing a presentation, right? I was doing a call and I was talking to people about building wealth with gold and silver and this and that and so on and so forth. And I'm talking, I'm not loud, but I'm very passionate. I'm emotionally involved in this. And there was a lady who was sitting right next to me on her computer doing whatever she was. And when I got off the call, it was a presentation call I was on, and now during the presentation, she says, now what business are you in and how can I sign up? I felt you. What happened was she was feeling the vibration, and therefore it led to a positive result because I believe in this. I believe in wealth creation. And it doesn't matter when you start. My favorite book says that the end of a thing is better than the beginning of it. The scriptures even talk about it, that the end of your life can be better than the beginning of it. And again, it's all about what you embrace or how you embrace that positive thought, that positive possibility, that positive possibility. Once you embrace that, then guess what you're going to do? You're going to start, watch this, creating results in alignment with what you embrace. Now, here's a great indication, and don't miss this. If you ever want to know what you're attracting, we believe in the law of attraction. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe you're on this call today. You're on this teaching today because you attracted a better way. You attracted something better. And because you attracted better, one thing led to another, and here you are. Now, watch this. I want you to get this. Your emotions are indicators of what you're attracting. So throughout the day, sometimes I can be caught up in the day just doing what I do. I stop and I ask myself, how do I feel right now? Do I feel excited? Do I feel, a good anxious? Do I feel like, woo, I'm happy to be alive? Or am I like, oh, I got this bill, I got that situation, I got this, all that, and oh, this. Either way, however you feel, it's an indication of at that moment what you're attracting, because that's the vibration you're giving off. As you see it here, this is how we've been created. Are you following me? So let's look at this again, okay? All right, here's the idea. Okay, the idea is now experienced through your senses: taste, touch, see, smell, and hearing. That can be a positive idea. It can be something you would like to do. And the reason why I love the fact that it's called an idea is that idea can be whatever you deem it to be. Okay, once you go forth with that idea, again, it then makes an impact through your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. Because you know what I love about the subconscious mind and what you got to understand? The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fiction or reality. It doesn't know the difference. That means I can take, and I do this in my own meditation time. I believe every person should meditate. I don't care what perspective you have on God or religion, everybody should meditate. In my meditation time, I spend time imagining some amazing things. I imagine the ultimate home I'm going to live in. I imagine the things I'm going to be able to do with helping people, having, making impact around the world, doing good to my loved ones, doing a lot for, our ministry, or, just helping people wherever there's a natural disaster, that we can be there. I imagine that, right? And when I have that idea in my mind, and I take time during my meditation and imagine that, it's then embraced to the deeper part of me, which is the subconscious. Now, once it hit the subconscious, I want you to understand what happened. There it is again. It creates a vibration that leads to an action. It creates a vibration that leads to an action. So the idea comes in. I embrace it. I believe it. I receive it. So much so that once it's embraced, and this is, again, positive or negative, by the subconscious mind, it causes a vibration which leads to an action. Now, here's what I love about this. Now, let's say you don't come up with the idea, but it's an influence from an outside source. Maybe you started a new business and you called people up on the phone and you got them excited because you got your list all ready to go. You're like, okay, I got the first 10 people I'm going to talk to, and I'm going to tell them, I got sick and tired of working a 9 to 5. So now I'm starting something part-time. And so my part-time job is going to be financing my business, my lifetime vision. And you're excited about it. But then you call the first person up on the phone and they say, don't call me with that. That stuff don't work. That's pyramid. You ever heard that before? Now, see, an influence from outside source, that idea works the same way. It's embraced to your conscious mind, and then before you know it, you got into worrying about, wow, if the first person says that, what about the third person? Claudia Eifer, who's one of the number one business persons in this opportunity, I had the privilege and still have the privilege of knowing her and talking to her, and she's an awesome trainer. I mean, fantastic trainer. Taught me a lot when it comes to the business end of what we do. You understand? And she began to share how the law of averages and the numbers, how sometimes when you talk to 10, you're bound to, get 3 to 4 or so on and so forth of people who are actually getting into business with you. And one of the things that I learned from engaging with her is that even if you you're talking to 10, that's your goal. You're talking to 10. If the first person says, no, I don't believe in that. If the second person says, no, I don't want to do that. If the third person says, no, it may be that fourth person who says, you know what? I'm tired of doing what I've been doing. This might be the next level for my life. Let's do it. And that fourth person may be the one to go up, whether it's a fourth person or whether it's the seventh person. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, be careful of the outside influences, because if you embrace a negative perspective from somebody, and it's always broke people who try to keep you broke, because as long as you're doing as bad as that person is, everybody's okay. But the moment you get to a place where you say, you know what, no, I want to do better, either some people get with it or some people won't. So my point is this: I want you to understand, make no mistake about it, an influence from an outside source, or maybe it's a conscious thought that you thought, you thinking, hey, this is going to be it. Now, how can you not build wealth with gold, silver, with oil, and all the other opportunities we have here? How can you not build wealth with that? Every person involved can build wealth. Every person. Now, the amount of wealth you build will be determined on your passion and your focus, but everybody can do it. See, that's a conscious thought. So how does flow, whether it's an outside influence from an outside source, or whether it's a conscious thought, once it gets embedded into your subconscious mind, that's why I'm very careful what I listen to, very careful what I watch. I don't watch a lot of TV. TV is TV programming. That's why they call it TV programming, because it's meant to program you to think a certain way, to be more of a consumer, one who consumes by buying this and buying that and a commercial this. I've watched many commercials before. Well, right after the hamburger commercial go off, I want to go to, in America, we call it Wendy's. There's a Wendy's franchise, might be around the world as well. But right after it goes off, or McDonald's, I want to go get that burger, that new burger. Why? Because I was programmed at that moment through, okay? See, and once it's been embedded, watch what happened. The same thing happened. It instantly moves into action. So now you give out that vibration, and then boom, next thing you know, you're going out doing the very thing, the very idea. Again, whether that's positive or negative. Now, there's a scripture in Proverbs 23 and 7. Out of the scriptures, it says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And I thought it was very befitting scripture to understand that how we've been wired is that whatever, now again, remember, these right here represent our senses. Here's the two parts of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. We've been wired that even on a negative idea, okay, somebody told you, you'll never be rich. You'll never be successful. You'll never succeed. The last time you had that business or that mistake in that business, it was over. The last time you tried something, it failed, it didn't work. Those negative ideas, again, watch this. The negative idea comes consciously because you hear it. Then you think about it. Then you're concerned about it. Then you, what if they're right? What if I'm not able to do it? What if this or what if that? And once that begins to impact or really gets embedded again in the subconscious, and then you get emotionally involved by it, fear starts taking up. Oh, I don't want to talk to them. They might tell me no. Well, let me tell you something. Somebody, please hear me. No, N-O simply stand for next opportunity. No does not mean no. You got to develop yourself to understand. No does not mean no. Some people say no because they don't understand. Who says no to building and creating wealth? If you share it with somebody, I have an opportunity that we're going to succeed. You're going to be able to build and create wealth for generations to come. Who's going to say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to struggle. I want to stay where I am. So oftentimes people say no because maybe we don't explain it right. We don't share it right, or we're not able to really bring people to clarity. Well, guess what? All that's about to change. But I want you to see how this works. Because as a person thinks in his heart, so he becomes. All right? When that negativity hits that body, before you know it, now you're giving off negative vibrations and nobody want to be in business with you. And guess what? I've seen that before. I've met people that after I spent a few moments with them, I said, I don't want them in my business. And guess what? I don't think they were ready for the business anyway. But that negativity, I couldn't have it around me because I knew that's not the results I'm going to bring. I want to send out. But so you see how it works on a negative. Now, what I want you also to understand is the same way it works on a negative, the same way it works on a positive. We live in a world of duality. You know what duality means? Dual, where we get the term two. Duality. To every up, there's a down. To every in, there's an out. To every physical, there's a spiritual. Okay? Duality. So if it works in a negative, it works in a positive too. So a positive idea, we get emotionally involved about it. Yes, we're going to win. Before you know it, you're giving out that vibration wherever you go. And you're attracting people to you. And you're making it happen in every way. Why? Because you get it. You're serious about it. You then are able to create what I like to call the atmosphere as if. You know, so whenever I got the positive idea, I move as if I'm already a billionaire. That's my ultimate goal. That's what I want. I move as if I'm already this or as if I'm already that. That's how I operate. And that's what I'm saying to you. When you create that atmosphere, got to listen to positivity, got to watch what I see. You know, the scriptures says the eyes and the ears are the gateway to the soul. The soul is how you carry yourself. It's how you operate. It is tied with your emotions and your feelings. That's your soul. All that is embedded. So if you create a positive, powerful atmosphere of what could happen, before you know it, you're going to see results of it happening. And this is how we do it. And to create that, you got to develop the mental strength. The mental strength that when you feel yourself drifting to that negative, shake it off. Come on, shake it off. You got to shake it off. Every time you try to go forth, maybe you planned a home meeting and you invited only 10 people. You need to invite more than that. But you invited 10 people and 3 people showed up. And the other 7 was somewhere else. And one said, I'm coming, but never came. And you all discouraged because you was ready to show the world, I'm ready. Well, guess what? When those type of things happen, you develop the mental strength. That's right. My next meeting gonna be better than the last one. My next opportunity, as far as what I'm doing, gonna be better than the last one. That's how you got to do it. You got to create that mental strength. You got to be firmly convinced here that it impacts you here. And before you know it, look at this. You're giving out the vibrations that creates the results. Isn't that amazing? Because I want you to understand that everything comes from one source. And that source power always flows and works to and through the individual, and that individual is you. Now, stated slightly differently, the image you have formed can only come to you on the physical plane of life. That's your results in one way. And that one way is by law, and it's through faith. It's now, when I say by law and through faith, I'm talking about by law, meaning I'm following principles and I believe. Believing is so necessary. Believing, in the scriptures, it says you cannot even please God unless you have faith. That means if you don't even believe, you're not even pleasing him. See, you thought it was your actions. You thought if I'd be good enough, if you don't believe that he is and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him, then guess what? You can't even please him. And this is what this is saying, that if you want to see the results in your physical plane, live by the laws, and I'm talking about principles when I say laws, and operate by a type of faith. Now, faith is what moves this power into action. Now I've explained to you, I've shown you how it works. So you understand this power works. But how do we move into action? I got to believe, I got to positively focus this power, this energy to the direction I want to go. Which means if I want to be wealthy, I don't hang around poor, pitiful, broken individuals who make every excuse why they cannot succeed. Because they're wealthy gonna be wealthy and the poor gonna be poor, and it's how this is. And no. My faith, my belief in the possibilities of what could be is what's gonna move me beyond the actuality of what is. I'm gonna say it again for those of you who need to hear it a second time. My faith in the possibilities of what could be is going to move me beyond the actuality of what is. And that's what the scripture, Hebrews 11:6, again, without faith, it's impossible to please God. So when we look at order, even how all this was created, I'm talking about the world. When we look at the first law of creation, please hear me. The first law of creation, what do we see? And again, there's a scripture in Hebrews 11:3. And again, it's phenomenal understanding this. And it talks about how God created the world. And it says, by faith, we understand that the world was created by the words of God. That means he believed in his ability so much so that he created the entire world as we know it by saying, let there be light, and it was. Let there be dark, let it be this, let it be that, and it all became, even with us. And again, that order is what moves us to a place of movement. When you understand the order, now you can take action, because movement means to take action. So now I understand that if I believe, I can go in the direction of where I need to be, and I do believe this, that even God will align the right people in the right places to open up the right doors for you when you take action. And many times you can hear a good thing, you can hear a powerful thing, and if you don't take action, listen to me, opportunities never go away. They only go to somebody else who's going to take action, who believe that they can do it. So if you say to yourself, no, I cannot. In our household, with our children, I'm growing 4 children right now with 1 on the way. Can you believe it? I'm telling you, I can't believe it. And we teach them, you cannot say the word can't. If we hear anybody say the word can't, everybody alarm go off. Somebody say can't. Why? Because can't have such a negative connotation with it that I believe, and I live by this, and I give this to you, and you get this easy and free. Anything is possible. You just got to find the way. It's all possible. Everything is possible. My hero, Jesus Christ said, all things are possible to them that believe. It's all possible. It's possible for you to succeed. But once you understand the order, now you can start taking action, or you can flow in the movement. Because movement in this context means to take action. So as we get ready, as we winding down, I want you to understand you are the perfect instrument for spirit to express itself through. You're the perfect instrument. You're the perfect instrument. See, you got to see yourself as a perfectly endowed spiritual instrument without limitations. And when you do this, you will find it easy, in fact, natural, to expect the good you desire. And you will also understand that doubt simply obstructs the unfoldment of prosperity in your life. See, because I know I'm a spirit being, and I teach this all over, and I'm going to teach this to you today. You are not a human being. You're going to spend more time in the spirit realm than you will in the natural realm. I'm telling you, once you're over, again, and I'm not here to talk about that per se, but I'm here to share with you, you are a spirit being having a human experience. And I showed you how it all works, right? So here it is. When you understand that God made you as a perfect spiritual instrument without limitations, then you'll know that the only limitation you are facing is the one you put in yourself. And I know what you're saying. Well, Dr. Blue, easy for you to say, but I don't have any money right now. And I'm here to tell you, what limits you today will not be a limitation always. You can overcome that limitation. You can. Well, I don't know nobody right now. What limits you today will not limit you always. You can overcome that limitation. Are you following me? It's all based upon you, again, understanding that not only is there you, but there's all of God want to work through you to help you to succeed. All right? All right, let's do somewhat of a review. Now, the first thing I want you to do, if you got pens and papers, get your pens and papers right now, please. If you follow along with me, I want you to write down just 3 attributes, 3 things, call it things, 3 things that you would like to see inside of your life. Okay? Not 3 things you want to stop, not 3 things you don't want, 3 things you want to see. Okay? I want you to write that down. Why? Because right now I'm going to show you how to choose the picture. It's the idea. You are now choosing the picture. Now we understand how it works. Now we recognize the order. Now we got to take some action. And as you follow with me on our next teaching, I'm going to break down the mindset, the movement, the mindset, the methods, and the movement. We're going to really look at that. And the more you stick with us on this better life journey, guess what's going to happen? Your life is going to get better. So you should have already written those things down. Write 3 things you would like to see in your life. And all those 3 things are different for you, like they're different for me. Okay? Write 3 things you would like to see inside of your life. The first thing I want you to understand, now, we want you to focus on the positive. But even if you concentrate on the negative, it's still a positive or negative. It still works in that capacity. Okay? Once you wrote those 3 things down and you embrace it consciously, and you can do it by declaring, I shall succeed in my business. I shall be a $1 million earner. I shall reach my entire family and many of my families, allow them to succeed with wealth creation. Once you do that and you choose in the picture, no matter what that idea is, now what you're going to simply do is you're going to seek to embed those ideas into your subconscious, which means you're going to focus on that. That's the only thing I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on those 3 things on the list. I want you to focus on those 3. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what is going to happen in my life. Focus on that. Once those ideas, and we see it here, once those ideas now are embraced again into the subconscious, then guess what? It's not only you creating it, but the universal spirit, God, will work all things together for your good because it's the very thing you're focused on. And I believe there's countless of stories I can get into. I'm not going to get into, but we can get into about how individuals who, came across this opportunity or that break or that deal or, and it just happened just like that. Why? Because they were focused on that opportunity and spirit brought it to pass inside of their lives. And watch this here. It then manifested through them into the physical form. And these what we call your results or the physical form. Or another term here is manifestation. So you want manifestation. I'm showing you how to manifest. I'm showing you how to do it. It's just a matter of you understanding the possibilities of it. Okay? Let's move along. Now, doubt. Doubt does not shut down the working of this power. The power is always working. This energy, this operation is always working. But doubt, the doubt you hold on will become the picture, which in return will turn into the result. So doubt won't shut it down, but doubt will be the thing that you're experiencing. So now you're experiencing the negativity. You're experiencing the negative. Why? Because you're doubting. Every time, and there's some people that they are just negative. I don't care if you gave them the money they're looking for. You know, I don't care if you did everything they wanted you to do. You ever have people in your life who get upset with you because you won't do it the way they want you to do it? Let's be honest. The only real people you have problems with is the people who won't do things the way you want them to do it. Even you. We are the same way. This is part of the human experience. But when you start coming into that doubting, and those people who are so negative and even if you did everything they wanted you to do, they still wouldn't be satisfied. They wouldn't, because it's just a part of them. They're just negative. Well, guess what? That will be the results produced inside of your life. And I want you to understand, faith is the ability to see the invisible, to believe the incredible. This is what enables you to receive what the masses think is impossible, because you expect it. They don't. See, the masses, they don't expect for you to succeed. Everybody won't be happy for you. Everybody won't like you. I know everybody doesn't like you. And it's okay, because nobody can argue with success. Focus on being a success. No one can argue with success. They may not like you. They may not like how you do things, the way you talk, the inflections of your voice, or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you focus on bringing your family out of poverty through this wonderful privilege and opportunity we have, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to be able to argue with your success. And you're going to be able to do what everyone else thinks is impossible, but you expected to do it. You knew that you would succeed. There are some things that I'm doing today that I knew I would do because my mind was set. My mind was focused on it. And I'm saying the same thing for you. And I want you to hear me, because if you can show me a person who achieves great things, I can show you a person who has great faith in themselves and in their ability to achieve what they image. Faith always, or has always, been the miracle worker throughout history. It is the connecting link between God and you. And therefore, it is your most valuable non-physical possession. Your ability to believe is your most valuable non-physical possession. And in truth, it is the cornerstone of everything you will ever build or achieve during the course of your lifetime. Your faith is the cornerstone for everything you will ever build, you will ever achieve through the course of your lifetime. In essence, if you see it or if you believe it, you will see it. If you doubt it, you'll do without it. If you believe it, you'll receive it. If you doubt it, you'll do without it. And so that brought me to the place of really understanding. And so let me show you this here. As we get ready to wrap up, and this is really, I trust that this has been impactful for you, like it has for me, when I started understanding this. There is nothing that I will put my mind to do that will not be accomplished. There's nothing, because now I can do all things, everything, because I've been strengthened through one who is able. Now, comparatively, few people realize today just how much faith in oneself, that's the part of you that is spiritually perfect, that is the spiritual you, has to do with achievement. Because the great majority of people never seem to conceive of faith as being genuine, genuine creative force. Yet the truth is that not only is faith a bona fide power, but it's the greatest one you will ever encounter. In fact, I would go as far as to say that whatever you accomplish in your lifetime will be in direct proportion to two things. Number one, your intensity. or your passion. Passion is another word for it. Your intensity. How intense, how passionate will you be about what you're looking for, about what you want to do in your life, how you want to do it. And number two, the persistence of your faith. I believe no matter what, I had this challenge, that challenge. Listen to me. I've been in business. I've been in precious metals for probably close to 10 years now. Ask me how many times have I had ups and downs, and why am I still here? I've been in business, a part of this movement for some time. Why am I still here? Why? The persistence of my faith to give, watch this, to make sure a wealthy family comes from me, since I didn't come from a wealthy family. I grew up poor. We wasn't poor. We couldn't afford the other OR. We were poor. I can tell you stories. My mother did the best she could. Single mother household. You know, doing all that she could. She did the best she could. But one thing she taught us how to understand who we were in God. And that gave me a sense of understanding that there was greater things than what I knew at the time. And when I begin to know it, I begin to see positive, powerful results in my life. Those same results that can happen for you. Because I'm going to say it again. Whatever you accomplish in your lifetime will be in direct proportion to the intensity, which is the passion, or the persistence of your faith. And on the flip side, a mind saturated with fear of failure or images of unwanted results can no more accomplish, create, or produce anything of value than a stone can violate the law of gravity by flying upwards in the air. In essence, you must realize that God, our creator, does not alter the law of gravity to accommodate a person who walks off of the roof of a house. He will not change it because you walked off. In essence, that we got to understand that you can, want what you want, but if you don't follow the law, the principles, you don't keep it positive, you don't keep focusing on the direction in which you want to go, you don't keep going in that direction, then guess what? The very thing you don't want will be the very thing that you experience. You hear what I'm saying here? So while I'm talking about this faith and this power of faith, this is not just positive thinking. It's much more than that. It's you taking action in an alignment to what you were thinking. You taking action in alignment with what you're thinking. Are you following me? So let's go over what is called the creative process. In the creative process, it's powerful because in the creative process, you're going to see two things. The first step of the process, if you're going to create, because creating is about a process. And when I say create, I'm talking about you manifesting what you want. See, I told you, you're more powerful than you think, than you ever thought. Here's the creative process. The first thing you must do in the creative process is you got to relax and see yourself already in possession of the good that you desire. And that's it. You got to work on the picture. You got to build the image. You got to build the image. You got to build the image. No matter how big the image is, you build it. It's your picture. Work on your picture. But relax. See yourself already that you can do it. Because I'm telling you, there's no limitations in front of you. The only limitation that there could be is you, the ones you put. Not the people who don't like you, not the people who talk against you, not the people who said you'll never do it, it'll never happen. No, the limitations you accept. Here's the second point, and this is very important. Let go and let God. Let go and let God, which means once I'm focused on where I'm going, I don't try to manipulate the process. I keep moving in the direction, trusting and believing that the positive focus and vibes that I'm giving out will open up the doors to more happening inside of my life. Will open up the door to me meeting the certain people, connecting with certain individuals, knowing certain individuals. See, 8 years ago, I didn't know a Claudia Eifer, who just by knowing her, I was able to learn certain things and develop in certain ways. Over 12 years ago, I didn't know a Bill Rao. I didn't know a UtopianGlobal. I didn't know a gold and silver. And what happened? See, I saw myself and where I wanted to go, and I let go and I let God, and I kept in the direction in which I want to experience. Are you following me? And when you're working with spirit, it helps to focus on the truth that spirit is in all places at all times. And since this is so, it follows you, it follows that you and I, we possess a godlike ability to tap into the positive thoughts anytime we wish, anytime we choose, no matter what it is. When I let go and let God, I know it's going to work out. You might say, well, how's it going to work out? And, you know, this happened to you, that happened to you. Somehow, some way, it's going to work out. And I don't have to figure it out. I just have to faith it out. I got to believe it out. You understand? I don't have to figure it out. Some things I don't want to figure out why this is. I just want to understand that simply because I'm living by certain laws, I'm able to see certain results. And those results are going to serve me for my better. Why? Because I'm more powerful than I thought. Like you are more powerful than you think. Are you following me? Finally, when you're gaining the understanding that you are made in the image of the creator of the universe, that's found in the scriptures, Holy Scripture, the Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. I was made in his image. That means I'm a spirit like him. That's what it means by in his image. Doesn't mean you look like God, because God didn't have physical features. The theological term, when we give him physical features, is what is called anthropomorphism. It's when we give him hands and say he touched me. We give him feet and said he walked with me. But in essence, God is a spirit. And because I was made in his image, the image, anytime you're in the image of someone, you look like them. That means I'm like him. I'm a spirit as he is a spirit. On this earth, I just have an earth suit called the flesh. Are you hearing me? So I was made in his image after his likeness. To have someone likeness, meaning you're just like them. I'm just like God. I can think a thing and it be established. You know, the scriptures also talk about you shall decree a thing and that thing shall be established. I can speak it, I can think it, I can believe it, and those are going to be results of what I see. And I want you to hear me that that we have been made in the image of the creator of the universe, and that a living part, and that we are a living part of God, the eternal spirit. And through this understanding, you will have the power to ultimately transform the results that you are achieving every day of your life. That's why I tell people all the time, you're not a victim. Does things happen? Yes. Are we tempted sometimes to cry about what happens? Of course. I'm not saying that. I am telling you that you determine whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, last year, and I just said this with you, I lost my father to cancer. Do I miss him? Yes. Was it bad? No. Why? I seen what he was suffering through in the hospital. I seen him on his deathbed. I was happy that he transitioned from this place to that place. Do I miss him? Yes. But it's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. And my point is this, that you and I, we can transform the results we are achieving every day of our life, all because we understand this creative process. So as a review, I'm done right now, but I want you to see this. As a review, number one, relax and see yourself already in possession of the good that you desire. And the second principle, let go and let God. In short, live as if what you desire already is done. My business is already successful. What you don't know is I have people all around the world who is saving in God's money of gold and silver. You know, they're educating others, their family members, their children on how to build and create wealth. They're learning what you learned today and sharing that with other individuals, that we are more powerful than we ever thought. There's a power for us. We are powerful people. And once you begin to recognize this creative process, there's nothing that you're going to want to do that you will not be able to create. And I say this as I get ready to close, and I'm done right now, and I trust that you're able in this introductional teaching just to understand how powerful you are. Now that you're unlocking this, now that you're getting this, guess what you're going to be able to do? Change the way you look at things, that the things you look at begins to change. Because I want you to hear me. God created your life, but it's up to you to create the level of your living. The success of your business will be based upon you. The failure of your business will be based upon you, not the outside circumstance, but it's what you believe about what's going on around you. And I mean this with everything inside of me. There's a reason why you have this in your life. There's a reason why you're a part of this utopian global opportunity. And those of you who are tuning in, and maybe you haven't yet, you haven't yet made that decision to go all the way. Let today be that decision. Let today be that decision. Because there are three kinds of people who are listening to me now. Number one is the kind of person who says, you know what, this is great stuff. I do see that I'm a little bit different than I thought. But right now, I still want to give you some time. I want you to get with the person who invited you in this call, right? You get with them and you talk it over with them. You find out how they're building, creating wealth. What makes them passionate about this? And then you know what? Rethink where you are. Or maybe you're like number two, the type of person who says, you know what? I like this. I just don't know if, in fact, I can do it. After today's teaching, you should be able to say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can succeed. I can build my own business. You know why? Because you're going to be taught everything. You know what I like about Utopian Global? That we have a powerful program that's getting ready to be rolled out that's going to teach you how to take you where you are, take your experience where you are, and become that better person that the next level requires. Or thirdly, you're the third type of person where you say, you know what, Dr. Blue, not only do I know who I am, not only am I excited about the power I have, and that power consists, watch this, that power is influenced by your mind, your mouth, and your heart. Your mind, your mouth, and your heart. Not only that power influenced by my mind, my thinking, my mouth, my conversation, my heart, what I do, how I take action, what I'm passionate about, but I believe I'm going to succeed. And I believe that I'm going to go to the top in every way. Diamond ambassador, triple diamond. I'm going to do everything I must do. I believe that it's all possible. And if that's you, then you need to take action now. That's right. Get with the person who invited you on the call, or make the decision. Go to the website, sign up, join this movement that's going to empower you to experience, one word, 2 syllables, better. I'm Dr. Blue, reminding you, life was meant to be good, and you, my friends, was meant to be better. May you be blessed. I trust that the words that I've shared have empowered you, have sparked something inside of you to go out and win. Why? Because it's time for you to win. And we have the opportunity in which you can win in. Thank you so much. We turn it back over to our president, Mr. Bill Rao, and we're so grateful for all of you tuning in to this opportunity and to this platform. Mr. Bill Rao, back in your hands.
Well, thank you, Dr. Blue. That was a most empowering presentation, and it really goes to your core, doesn't it? I mean, if I go back to my life, how things started, growing up on a dairy farm to where I am today, what I've achieved, how does it all start? It's an internal job, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. The inner world creates the outer world, no question.
And these processes, these laws that you shared with us today, is really, you have to review this every day. You've got to check yourself every day. I have to do this every day. You've got to be empowered from the time you wake up, your conscious thought. You've got to decide how are you thinking, how you're applying that thought, and what actions you're actually taking. So I want to thank you, Dr. Blue. We don't have time for questions today. We've got a lot of great comments coming about you. Thank you for your empowerment teachings today. And we look forward to having BetterLifeOlogy with Dr. Pastor Blue next month in July.
Thank you. God bless you all. Let's take it to the top because it's too crowded at the bottom.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.